Hello, I'm Dr. Helen Pinsanti, and welcome to Doctor, where medical conversation meets everyday understanding for you and your health. Today, we're going to be talking about a condition that affects millions of children and adults across the globe, ADHD, or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Well, what causes it? How do we spot it in a person? Do you have it yourself? Are there natural or modern treatments that really work? We're going to break it all down with simple, clear, and real information. And to help us with this important topic, I'm joined by someone with deep expertise in regenerative and cognitive medicine. He's a physician, a medical innovator, dedicated and being an advocate for those patients. Dr. Bryn Henderson. Dr. Bryn Henderson is a board-certified physician and one of the leading minds in the field of regenerative medicine. His passion is helping patients find real solutions to complex health challenges, from chronic pain to neurologic conditions, like what we're going to speak about today, ADHD. He's here to share his insights on how ADHD is being better understood and treated, not only from traditional approaches, but all the emerging therapies. Dr. Henderson, let's get started. What is it?
Thank you very much for your invitation here. ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is a brain-related condition that makes it hard for someone to stay focused, sit still, or control impulses. It's not about bad behavior. It's about how the brain is wired. Symptoms usually start in childhood and continue into adulthood. People with ADHD often struggle in school, at work, or in relationships because their brain is constantly shifting in the attention or reacting too quickly.
So what kind of symptoms should parents or teachers or a person themselves look out for?
Well, there are two main symptoms. One is inattention, and the other is hyperactivity, impulsivity. A child might seem like they're daydreaming or easily distracted or forgetful, or they might be restless, talk too much, and have trouble waiting their turn. Some children show both sets of symptoms, while others lean on one more than the other. And importantly, these symptoms need to show up in more than one setting, like home and school, to be truly considered ADHD.
So how important is age and development when evaluating these symptoms?
It's very important. Pre-puberty and post-puberty brains respond differently to treatment, especially medications. Hormonal changes can shift how a child reacts to certain drugs. So we consider their developmental stage before making treatment decisions. Also, the younger the child, the more involved parents should be. In fact, the first step isn't prescribing, it's having a detailed discussion with the parents about what medication means and what other strategies are available.
How common is it percentage-wise if we use the bell curve and we get a percentage?
It's very common. Around 1 in 10 children in the United States have been diagnosed with ADHD. Boys are diagnosed more often than girls, partly because boys tend to show more hyperactivity behavior, while girls might seem less distracted or quiet, which is easier to miss.
Do we know what causes ADHD?
Yes, we sure do. We're learning a lot more, but genetics play a big role, and ADHD tends to run in families. But other factors, some during pregnancy, like smoking, stress, and poor nutrition, or low birth weight of the child, can also increase the risk. The brain structure and chemistry are different in people with ADHD, especially in areas that control focus and self-control.
That's really interesting. The brain structure and chemistry are different in people with ADHD, especially in areas that control focus and self-control. You could see it in imaging?
Absolutely. It's easily picked up on a QEEG and other different types of brain mapping as well. In fact, I think what this is trying to reflect is that neurotransmitters vary in terms of amounts in somebody's brain, as well as do the structures.
All right, well, then let's go to how is ADHD diagnosed?
There's no single test, but doctors use checklists, interviews with patients, parents, teachers, and sometimes the child. Tools like the Vanderbilt scale help track behavior. For adults, self-reported forms are used. What's key is that symptoms are long-term, started before the age of 12, and affect daily life.
What is that Vanderbilt scale?
The Vanderbilt Assessment Scale are a set of questionnaires used primarily to assess and diagnose attention deficit disorder symptoms in children 6 to 12. They are available to parents and teachers, and there's versions also that assess for oppositional defiant disorder, conduct disorder, and anxiety. There's also a Vanderbilt fatigue scale for assessing listening related to fatigue in children.
Well, that's interesting. Besides that one, what do we have for adults?
Several questionnaires are used to screen for and assess ADHD symptoms in adults. With the adult version of self-reported scales, these questionnaires help identify potential ADHD symptoms and guide further evaluation by a healthcare professional.
All right, so now we know how you evaluate with children 6 to 12 and adults. What are standard of care treatments in the United States of America?
We typically start with behavioral interventions and parenting training, especially for younger children. Medications, mostly stimulants, are often effective, but not always the first step. When meds are used, we carefully choose them based on the child's age, stage of puberty, and overall health. Stimulants like Ritalin and Adderall are often the early choice. They help increase focus and reduce impulsivity, and parents' participation is key. They help monitor effects and support behavior at home. For kids under 6, parent training and classroom strategies are crucial. Some people use non-stimulant medications, especially if stimulants did not work or cause side effects. And increasingly, we're adding natural and brain-based therapies to the mix.
All right, well, you said a word I like. So you're saying if stimulants don't work or cause side effects, we're adding natural and brain-based therapy to the mix. You are preaching to the choir here. Let me hear it.
We had a study, and it involved 12 children with ADHD who received 30 sessions of neurofeedback over about 15 weeks. The neurofeedback uses brainwave monitoring to train the brain to stay focused. The children showed big improvements in planning, attention, and cognitive processing. It's non-invasive, it's drug-free therapy, and it helps the brain learn to focus better by repetitive actions.
Any other alternative treatments showing promise?
Absolutely. Traditional Chinese medicine uses herbs and acupuncture to calm hyperactivity and improve focus. Specific acupuncture points help balance energy in the body and the brain. Peptides like Cmax and Zonk are being explored for their effects on brain chemistry and inflammation. Even music therapy has shown large benefits. Structured music can improve focus, reduce stress, especially in children.
What about adults with ADHD? How is it different for them?
Adults often struggle with time management, staying organized, or finishing tasks. Medication can help, but therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, is very effective. Adults also benefit from coaching, routines, and lifestyle changes, like exercise and better sleep. ADHD doesn't go away with age, but adults can definitely learn to manage it well.
What are the risks if ADHD goes untreated, what are we looking at in the population? Are these, I mean, my thing is going to like people who commit crimes because they're impulsive, or people who drink themselves to death, or drug addicts.
Understand. Good question. Yes, in fact, it does increase risks, and they can be serious and have serious consequences. Children usually fall behind in school and struggle with friendships and relationships and feel they're always, quote, in trouble, unquote. Over time, this can lead to anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and unfortunately, even troubles with the law, like you alluded to.
Mm-hmm.
Studies show that undiagnosed or unmanaged ADHD in teens and young adults can lead to risky behavior, accidents, and criminal activity. That's why early intervention is so important. It can really change the direction of a child's life and impact the family. Many adults were diagnosed as children and just thought they were lazy or unfocused. In adulthood, ADHD shows up as disorganized, missed deadlines, impulsive decisions, and emotionally they look overwhelmed. Medications help, but in adults, they also benefit from coaching, therapy, and sometimes lifestyle changes like structured routines, good sleep, and the brain training is very effective for adults.
All right. So, what's your advice to patients listening who might be concerned?
Don't wait. Number one is get going. If you see consistent signs of difficulty sitting still, constantly distracted, or challenges in school or with friends, talk to your physician. ADHD is very manageable, and today we have more tools than ever. One of the easiest ways to remember those tools is to remember the mnemonic that I call the focus plan. It gives families and individuals with ADHD a structure for daily living.
All right, let's go over focus plan for everybody. What does the F stand for?
Follow a routine. Predictable schedules reduce stress.
O.
Organize your space. A tidy environment helps limit distraction.
C.
Chunk tasks into steps. Break big goals into small wins.
U.
Use timers and tools, alarms and checklists. Keep attention on track.
S.
Sleep well. Rest is critical for focus and mood.
P.
Practice mindfulness. Breathing and awareness builds self-regulation.
L.
Limit distractions. Noise canceling tools or tech limits can really help.
A.
Adhere to treatment. Medications or therapy must be used consistently.
N.
Nurture strengths. Celebrate creativity, energy, and innovation. This isn't about symptom control. It's about building confidence and connection every day.
ADHD may be common, but it's far from simple, and every child is unique. As we've heard today from Dr. Henderson, understanding the condition is the first step to empowering families and yourself, changing lives. I thank you, Dr. Henderson, for helping us shine a light on both the challenges, possibilities, treatment, and help that comes when we've been diagnosed with ADHD. If you would like to see Dr. Bryn Henderson in person, I encourage you to call 714-639-4013. His office is at 615 East Chapman Avenue in Orange, California. That's in Orange County, California. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, go to my website, www.askdrhelen.com. That's www.askdrhelen.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Helen Pinsanti. This is Doctor to Doctor, where real doctors share innovative information to bring hope to you for your health. Join us next time. Bye for now.